I think studying abroad in general is definitely something everyone should do.
It's a time where you get to learn about yourself the most, I think.
You get to see how something's done in a different country.
If you have the opportunity to do it, I say jump on it.
I can't say anything but great things about it, so it's definitely worth it.
Budapest is really cheap, so you can get really nice things for really cheap. For example, my apartment.
I got to live in a hotel like half a mile from the school.
So I was put up in a hotel with other students,
I had room service 2 days a week,
and we had a free breakfast every morning.
continental breakfast every morning.
It was only university students allowed to be in this living situation, so it was great. There was tons of kids, tons of fun.
Yeah, my school was a primarily study abroad school.
At our school, it was really diverse. Like everyone was from like England or other parts of Europe or Asia.
All the students were from the United States. So there were a couple USF kids from all over the US.
My school schedule was great because I finished my film minor.
It was great because I only took art classes there.
It wasn't really school in the sense that you were learning in your classes about your classes. You were learning in your classes about like culture and history and life.
They give us all these field trips for free, all these shrine visits, tea ceremonies.
We took Australian culture classes, which is really cool because you got to learn about the history of Australia. It was kind of like almost getting nationalism about the country in a class.
We did lots of field trips throughout the city and learning about, what kind of went on there.
It was more situational, so I was able to use what I learned in school and just apply it outside and, ask for directions, ask for what I want to eat, say I want this, I want that.
So it was really nice to learn in a different setting. We didn't really learn like sitting with our books and in our classes, although we had those things. I think I learned a lot more just speaking to people in the streets or speaking to my teachers even, or going out and talking to people. It's really nice to learn from your peers.
They really treat us with respect because they know that we're only here for this amount of time and we want to be able to experience everything possible.
It was a chance to also travel throughout Europe.
Europe is so condensed, it's really easy to travel to other places.
I was able to go to like 3 or 4 other countries, pretty much every major city in Italy.
You can take a train for like $20 and go to a completely different country.
I did get to go to the major areas of Tokyo, and I also got to travel outside of Tokyo to the countryside.
Yeah, language barrier. That was a tough part, was the language barrier.
I thought I knew Japanese a little bit, but then once you actually get there and you hear people talk very, very fast, you just know nothing.
I definitely wish I would have had more Italian in me, but I'm really grateful for the little bit that I did have because it did help go a long way.
We took a class to learn the basics of Hungarian.
And I think it helped me improve my Italian a lot more because I at least had that basis.
And it got me by to say like, hi, how are you? How much is this? Thanks.
The accent was kind of hard to understand, but beyond that, I guess it wasn't as much as a barrier language as was cultural.
It definitely was both a culture shock and a language shock.
Hungarian is hard. It's a really hard language.
But it's a good struggle. It's a learning struggle, I guess, and it makes you think outside the box and try harder and take your dictionary everywhere.
It's kind of fun to not know the language and try to figure out your way. And
try to use other things other than language to communicate with people.
Like this all the time, I want that. And they don't know what you're saying, but it takes a little while. It's kind of funny.
Oh, you can totally afford to study abroad.
You take a USF program, it's the same cost as coming here, so if you have like a grant or anything, it kind of transfers over.
It was the same as if going to USF for another semester, so why not make your semester way cooler and go to Italy?
It's definitely important to have a budget when you go.
I had a budget and I stuck to it.
You're just smart about it. You just find ways to strategize.
The types of food we ate, I had kangaroo pizza, crocodile pizza.
Food that I got when I was at a restaurant or out was absolutely amazing.
There was miso soup, rice, fish, eggs. It was amazing.
I don't think I ever had anything bad to eat, ever.
I'm obsessed with sushi, and I was able to eat sushi every day.
And at the same time, it's really fun to try things you've never had before. Like, for example, one of my favorite things were paprika-flavored potato chips. Like, I've never had paprika-flavored potato chips. Like, that was so good, though. I had them every day. I think I gained like 30 pounds eating paprika potato chips. I don't know.
Since there's so many kangaroos, like they were pushing us to eat the kangaroo meat, and it was actually really good. It tasted great.
And I had like my top 10 restaurants, rotate them in. Anytime someone came to visit, like a great excuse to go to them. So the food was amazing.
You think you have an idea of what the world is really made up of and how it kind of works? but then you realize there's all these stories that you're missing that you've never heard about. And I feel like once you're kind of in the European Union, for example, you'll hear all about the European Union, you know, and there's so many things I had no idea about.
I mean, it's like venturing off into the unknown. I know that's a scary situation, but it's worth it. It's adventure. It's what life's about.